Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to have a look at taking our Fusion 360 model and importing it into Blender and then have a go at texturing it. I've split it up into about 5 different videos, so they won't be particularly long. First one will just be about bringing it in and then applying some bulk material to it. Next one will be about setting up scenes and wrapping it and then applying lighting as well. So hopefully you enjoy, and if you got any questions, please let me know.
Okay, so we're inside of Fusion and we've got this model that we've done. If you want to know how to model that, there is a video talking through how to model that already, but what we're going to do is try and take this into Blender to have a go at texturing it. So there's a couple of things we want to do first. Go into the bodies folder. Just make sure that everything that you want to have its own texture is a separate body. So if you've joined anything together, so for example, if you're like 3D printing parts and you join them together, just make sure you separate them. So each one of these I've got as separate bodies. Next thing I've done is just rounded up any sharp edges with a little fillet, just so it's like a neater transition. Once you've done that, you come to File, Export, change this to FBX or OBJ will work. I've mainly been using FBX, and my OBJ will do the same thing as well. So FBX, go to Export, you'll give it a name rather, go to Export, and that'll take a few minutes to do because it's done by the cloud. Once that's done, you can jump over to Blender. So that when you start Blender, this is the same thing that everyone's got. So we've got a cube, we've got a light, we've got a camera. If you hit A on your keyboard, it will select everything, and if you press X, and it will delete everything. So what we want to do is bring our Fusion model in. So we're going to go to File, Import, FBX. Now if you do the OBJ, you got OBJ there as well. So do FBX, find where we put it. So I have got my model in there, and you can see it right down here. Here it is. I'm going to zoom in and use my scroll wheel. Now, at the minute, it's the wrong orientation. So, first of all, I should have said, sorry, scrolling in and out of my scroll wheel. If I put my scroll wheel in, I can just put it around like that. Now, I want to rotate this around. So you can do that by pressing R on the keyboard. But at the minute, it just sort of rotates around everywhere. I can Control Z to undo that. If you look up here, you've got X, Y, and Z. So, looking at the front, X goes left to right, Y goes forwards and backwards, and Z goes up and down. So if I hit R to rotate, but if I press X, it'll then lock it, so it'll only rotate around the X-axis, okay? What you can then do as well is type in the degrees you want. So if I type in 90, hit Enter, it's done set degrees, but it's done it the opposite way I want it, so it's done it upside down. So I'm going to Control Z to undo, hit R to rotate again, X to lock it in the X-axis, and do minus 90, so hit Enter. So now I've got that right orientation. I then want to make it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to hit S on my keyboard to scale it, and just drag it up a little bit, like that. Last bit of prep I want to do is just bring it to the top of the grid. So if I press G, that'll grab hold of it. I want it to be upwards, so if I press Z, it'll lock it in the Z axis, like that. So we've now got that in the right position. So we just simply want to now put it in, just apply some materials to it. So first of all, Fusion automatically applies satin steel to everything. Now, Blender does recognize this material. So if you come to the Materials tab, so I'm going to click on here, come to the Material tab on the right-hand side, sorry, down here. You've still got that steel there. But if you click on this X here, you can remove it and you go to that sort of unshaded, like clay finish to it all. So we took all those off, like that. If you want to pan, so I said zoom in and out with scroll wheel and rotate around, but if you hold down Shift and scroll wheel, you can pan around as well. So we're going to get rid of all of those. And now you want to apply some materials. And the way to do that, or an easy way to do that, is to use an add-on called Blender Kit. Okay, so if you type in Blender Kit in Google, there's a paid version and there's a free version. I've only been using the free version. I've had very little limitations in terms of what I wanted to do with it. So this is what this add-on here is. If you download it, you want to install it, go to Edit, Preferences, find out where you've got it, type in Blender Kit. It's enabled there, and it appears. Okay. So I'm going to click on this one to go materials, and I'm going to type in like wood. And I'm going to go for something like this one. I'm going to drag it up onto this material here, and nothing has changed, because at the minute, the view's up here, you're in viewport shading. If I click on the next one, it gives you material preview, but it doesn't really look very good. If you zoom in, you can see it's like gone really, really weird. So what we need to do is something called unwrapping our object. Now, unwrapping is basically you telling Blender how you want the material to wrap around the actual object itself. Now, to do that, you click on it and go to, where are we? UV editing at the top here. So you have this window here. Now, it's a little bit harder to do with Fusion models than it is Blender models, because you've got something called topology, which if you look at this, and I won't go into it in a lot of detail, you've got loads and loads of triangles. Ideally, what you want is loads and loads of what's called quads. And because we've modeled it in a CAD software without doing something called retopology, we're not going to be able to do that. But it's fine. What we're doing doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to click on what I want to unwrap. I'm going to press the Tab key to go into edit mode. Now, with edit mode, you got vertices, which are these little dots. You got edges, which are the lines, and you got faces, which are the big sections there. Now, you can swap between them, going there, vertex, edge, face. Or you can do 1, 2, or 3 on your keyboard. So I'm going to go to faces, hit A to select everything. Then up here says UV. I've got Smart UV Project, Cube Projection. So there's loads of different options. What I've actually done is I've right-clicked and you can add it to your quick favorite. That's removed for me because I've already got it on there. If I select it all, and then go to Q, I go to Cube Projection. It's then laid it out how it thinks it wants to be. And then if I go back to Material Preview now, you see that it's now laid it out better. The benefit of this as well, so say, for example, I want the grain to go the other direction. Hit A to select all, R to rotate, X 90. You now see that I've got the grain going the opposite direction, which is not what I wanted. I wanted to go. It was right the first time. Like that. But what you could also do is select it all and hit S to scale and make the grain bigger or smaller, depending on what it is. If it kind of the proportions look off a little bit. Again, I was quite happy with that, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now, if you have got that, if I go click on it, if you've added it to your quick favorites, I don't need to jump back into this workspace anymore. I can stick in layout. I can do the same thing here. So I'll now go to my materials tab, and I've got that wood that I've already applied there, and I can do the same thing. Hit tab. I need to go into face mode, A to select everything, and because I've got quick select, go Q, and go Cube Project, like that. I'm just going to repeat that for each part of this chair. Tab to go to edit mode, B to go into face, A to select all, and Q to Cube Project. And I'll just do this one here. Tab to go to edit mode, B to go into face, A to select all, and Cube Project like that. So I've got the wood side of things. Now, for other videos in the series, we are going to redo this cushion with actual like a simulator. But for now, let's just the generic fabric material. So we'll go like this grey or something like that. We'll do the same. Tab 3 AQ. Fabric look, and then we'll get some like black plastic for the feet. We're going to close that, and then very quickly we've gone from our model inside of Fusion to bring that into Blender, unwrap it, and to apply materials. Now, in the rest of these little series of videos, they won't be very long, and we're going to look at making it a bit more realistic, as it has some better lighting, do some simulations to make like pillows and like cloth and that sort of thing. So we've got that, because all we've done is literally bring our model in, use Blender Kit to apply our materials and unwrap it. So I hope you found that helpful and interesting. If you've got any questions, leave a comment down below or email me at tonight with Simon@outlook.com.